Hello, everyone, and welcome to Power Within Me. I'm so excited that you guys are all here to join me and able to participate in this event. Just before we get started, a few little things. To start, this session is online, so it's going to be a little bit different than usual. I tried pretty hard to make it pretty similar to what we usually do when we meet all together. But you probably won't get to hear all your peers reflect and the staff reflect on the prompts. But I will still go through the pages because I have the journal here with me, and I will read the pages aloud, show them to you guys, and I will personally reflect on them. And then I will hold the page open a little bit so you guys can see it, take it in, understand the prompt, and then I will allow you guys time to reflect. During that time, I would pause the video so you guys aren't rushed and don't feel like you have to cram your answers in really fast. Journaling is very personal, and each person does it at their own speed, so please take your time and really reflect deeply. When you're reflecting, if you have a piece of paper, pencil, pen, marker, just write down there and then keep the papers so that way when you guys get your journals, you can fill them out in there. If not, you can reflect in your head, which is just as good. And if you guys want, you can make comments down below. And we would love to hear what you guys had to say and if there's anything you want changed or improved for next time, because this is definitely a kind of a trial run. So to get started, I have some quotes I wanted to share with you guys. They're from Dr. Seuss, and they're just kind of reminders, and I thought they're kind of tied in to journaling and this week's chapter. So the first quote that I have is from Dr. Seuss is, "Today you are you. That is truer than true. There's no one alive that is truer than you." I like this one because it just reminds us that when we're journaling, what's important is your thoughts, and when you're reflecting or sharing, it's not everyone's going to be the same, and it's okay to be different. And the next one ties into this as well, is why fit in when you were born to stand out? Each and every one of us is different and has our own opinions, our own thoughts, our own life experiences. So I just wanted to point these out to you guys before we started reflecting and sharing, if we're able to do that. As usual, we're going to start with some affirmations. And I do not have our usual affirmations, so the ones from the cups that we pull out, and it's going to be a little different than usual. So what we're going to do is I'm going to read the affirmations. I have 20 of them, and I'm going to read them slowly and take some pauses in between them, and I want you guys to kind of pick up ones that you like, and if you remember it, I'd like you to repeat it after I say it. Just really take it in. If not, I want you guys to really deeply listen to what I have to say, because these are all, I know, are you guys, and they represent you guys, and hopefully some of them will resonate with you and you can feel them the way I do. So here, let's begin with these affirmations. So the first one says, "I am doing my best." The next one is, "I choose to be happy and love myself today." My possibilities are endless. I am worthy. I am brave, bold, and beautiful. Today is going to be a great day. am talented, and I am intelligent. I am free of worry and regret. My thoughts become my reality. I am in love with myself and my body. I am proud of myself. I am becoming more confident every day. I believe in myself. I love myself. I am grateful for all that I love. I am enough. I am kind. I am courageous. And I stand up for myself. Many people look up to me and recognize my worth, and I am admired. And then lastly, I radiate beauty, charm, and grace. So, like I said, hopefully one of these resonated with you and you felt like they kind of described you that day. And if you didn't really pick out one that you really liked, hopefully you listen to them and they just kind of lift you up, because that's the hope with them. So before we move into the journal, I kind of want to do a warm-up activity that I thought was kind of important and kind of speaks to the chapter that we're doing. So this week we're moving into a new section, which is super exciting, and I am super ready, and it is called the I Speak chapter. I believe that when you're speaking or someone is speaking, listening is just as an important part of it. So for the first activity, what we're going to do is you guys are going to reflect and think about your listening skills, I guess. How you listen best, how do you listen to your body, how do you listen to others, when do you know you're listening, and what can you prove upon when you are listening, and what does listening look like? So I can give a few examples before you guys start reflecting. And I would say when I'm listening to my body, it is just being able to understand what's telling me. So sometimes if my body is extremely tired or just like fatigued, I just feel like I can't do anything, and I feel like I just need to sit down for a little bit. And so that's what I do. I will sit down, I will maybe take a nap or something. And if I'm feeling restless or like antsy and I need to do something, I usually listen to my body and I get up and take a walk or switch what I'm doing. So if I'm working on something I've been working on for an hour and I just feel like I'm not making any progress, I might switch to a different activity or just take like a 5-minute break to listen to music or something. When listening to other people talk, what I try and do and make sure I'm listening intently is stare at that person. Well, not like hardcore staring, but look at them. If I'm comfortable, make eye contact with them. So that way they know I'm listening to them, and I try not to be distracted by anything else. So not looking at my phone, on any of the social media sites, not on my computer, watching TV, just so I can really hear what they have to say, and that way I can formulate a response back that is appropriate and seems like I heard and understand what they had to say. Something I definitely have to work on though would be like, I guess, making sure I'm looking at someone when they're speaking, because sometimes I'll just be off in my own little world, and that makes it kind of difficult to hear what they're saying and fully focus on them when I have other thoughts in my head. So I guess just when I'm having a conversation with someone, just focusing in on that and not playing other conversations in my head or thinking about what I have to do in an hour for work or what I did yesterday or something like that. So just staying concentrated and yeah. So hopefully that gave you guys some stuff to think about and for when you guys are reflecting. So at this time, after I'm done explaining, I would like you guys to pause the video and take a few minutes to think in your head and reflect on a piece of paper if you have one what you do when you're listening to someone. How does someone know that you are listening to them? What does it look like? What does it feel like? How do you listen to yourself? How do you know what your body's telling you? How do you know what you want to share? And I would recommend a few minutes, so anywhere from 2 to 5 to 7 minutes, however long it takes you to reflect. And get your thoughts down. So, yeah. Alright, so now that you guys have reflected on how you listen and how you make sure other people know you are listening, we're gonna finally get into the book. Woohoo! So like I said, we are now done with the love chapter and we are moving on to the I speak chapter. So let's see. The I speak chapter looks like this. So it's blue, it says I speak on it. And the next page has this writing. And I will read this aloud to you guys and pause so you guys can kind of reflect. It has some questions in here. You guys do not have to reflect on these on paper, but it goes back to kind of our listening and the little activity we did before this. So, to start, listen. It says sit quietly, hands on your thighs, palms up, arms straight, and relax. Tips of your pinkies touching your thumbs. So your fingers are going to be looking kind of like this on your hands. And your hands are going to be on your thighs, sitting like this. Let your spine rise tall and breathe in to your upper chest and throat. Let your breathing come in and out naturally and open your facilities of listening. Let the questions of this page serve as continuing contemplations throughout the open space to follow. In this exploration of the quality of your speech, listen to the words that arise in your mind. As you read through the inquiries, capture them. Stay connected to the quality of your thoughts as well as the quality of the silence within you. That silence in the ground of knowing and speaking your truth grants you forgiveness where it's most needed and loving yourself with the words you use internally. Alright, so these are the prompts that this listening page gives us. The first one is choose 5 words you would use to describe yourself today. Again, like I said, you can do these in your head, or if there's someone by you, you can share them. You can write them down on paper. Really, it is up to you. 5 words for myself today. I would say patient, hardworking, kind, caring, and compassionate. Name someone you know who's a great listener. What do they do when they're listening to you? So my sister's a pretty great listener, and when she's listening to me, she is staring at me, and usually is not on her phone, and we're looking at each other, and she'll nod along and acknowledge what I say. How does it feel to be truly heard? I guess it feels good to be truly heard to me. What do you think? All right, the next one. Is there anyone in your world to whom you could apologize today? If so, you can make a note. Just letting them know you're thinking of them and you want to say a few words. I think right now I'm pretty up to all of my apologies. um, but notes are nice to write. It says you do not need to send them unless you want to. It's just kind of a thought. All right, next prompt is, what does forgiveness mean to you? I guess forgiveness is being able to accept someone or something that they did, and I want to say forgive them, but I guess move past it and not dwell on it and not continuously bring it up, and stuff like that. So to me, that is forgiveness. What's forgiveness to you? And then the last one says, is there anyone in your life you could forgive today? I don't have an answer to this one, but if you do, I bet everyone around you would like to hear it. Or it could feel good to get out. So write it down if you want. If you've been writing answers down to these questions, in your book, there's this blank page that you could write these things down for when you get your books, of course. If not, when you guys get your journals back, or if you ever just want an empty page to write on, you guys definitely have this page, and you can go back. It's just on this listening page. It has all of the little prompts on them down here. This could be interesting. Okay. So we're going to move on to our first page. And like I said, I'm going to read it. I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to reflect my own little reflection. And then after I reflect, I'll say it's now your turn to reflect and write it down. And pause it. Pause the video, write it down, reflect in your head, reflect to those around you, comment, and then continue the video on to the next one. So the first prompt is, this is what I'm afraid to say, but I know it will set me free to say it. Whew. I feel like this is kind of a tough one. I feel like there's a lot of things that we keep bottled up, but I guess one that just recently bears that I'm kind of afraid of the unknown. So not knowing what's going to happen or being stuck in this like limbo period is kind of scary to me. But I guess admitting it and sharing it to others is like the first step to just kind of working through it. So I know when I'm saying it or I'm telling someone this, that they'll either help me get through it, or I can acknowledge it and work through it by myself. All right, so again, here is the page. And so I would like you guys to reflect on them. If you can't read it or you can't see it, staff, it was sent out in the activity plans, so that's another way you can access these. Yeah. All right, reflect on them. All right, guys, I hope you had a good reflection. So whether you reflect it in your head, on paper, down below, I hope it was great and you feel good and you're able to express what you want to. All right, we're going to move on to our next page. This one is a fun one. It's still going to be kind of challenging to answer. It says, this is how silence feels. I feel like this painting kind of describes it too. I feel like it describes silence. Alright, I have two answers. So, to me, sometimes silence can be great. Sometimes it's what I need. So, I am someone who enjoys their quiet time and their alone time. So, when I have had a busy day or I need a chance to kind of decompress, silence can be amazing. It can be exactly what I needed. It can give me time to reflect on my day or work through anything that I'm working through. And it can just provide me with peace. But there's other times where silence can kind of be scary or unnerving. So this can be like when you're in a conversation and you don't know the person very well and it is dead silence and you're like, you just feel awkward, you don't know what to do. Sometimes I also feel it if I'm waiting for a response, because I'm either anticipating a good answer or a bad answer, and I'm like, I just don't want to know, and there's silence, and I'm just like, oh. And the last one is when it's silent and you're kind of alone, but then you're hearing weird noises, usually just like the wind, but that can be scary too. So, like I said, silence, for me at least, has both things. It can be great, it can just mean me time, but it can also be kind of scary. So, again, here's the page, and it says this. Oops, this is how silence feels. I would like you guys to take a few minutes to reflect on this, so pause the video and take as much time as you need. All right, thank you for pausing and reflecting. Again, I hope it went well, and if you shared it with someone, I hope you had a good time sharing it. So we're gonna move on to the next page, and this one would be interesting to hear you guys' thoughts. So this page says dot dot dot, meaning blank is how I talk to myself, and then it also down here it says dot 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 is how I talk to others. So it's kind of a comparison of how you talk to yourself compared to how you talk to others. So there's definitely a difference for me. When I speak to myself, it's usually in my head. And sometimes it can be like, you did so great, you rocked that. Or it can be like, oh gosh, Sam, why would you say something like that? Or that was cringy. And I tend to be a lot harder on myself than I am others, which I know isn't good, but just kind of how it is. And I don't know if I put myself down, but definitely second guess a lot of things I do and say, and it's all in my head and a lot. Talking to others, I think, usually pretty encouraging and accepting, and positive, where that's not always the case with myself. I try and be the glass half full, I guess, but oof, sometimes talking to myself, it's not like that. So now that I've reflected, I want you guys to take a few minutes and again, reflect for yourselves. If you have any questions, refer back to this page, but blank, how I talk to myself, and blank is how I talk to others. Oops, my fingers. All right. Reflect. All right, welcome back. All right, so we're going to move on to our last reflection page. So this one, let's see if you can see it. It says, these are the people to whom I could listen more attentively. I'm guessing it's like, I think it's asking are there people in your life that you could listen to a little bit more, a little bit deeper, and pay more attention to what they're saying or have to say. Um, so this kind of goes to our first activity and kind of why I had you guys do it, so you could think about it and think about what listening actually is. For me, people I could probably listen to a little bit more would be family and friends, probably. I definitely think friends that I see all the time, or people I live with, you hear the same stories over and over, or you just kind of go into a routine, so you don't always listen to what they have to say. So friends, definitely I could listen to them a little bit more, and family, definitely parents, because they've got a lot of great knowledge and wisdom to share, but I don't always want to hear it. So I might tune them out, or just not really listen to what they are saying, but I know they have important things to say, so I'm going to try harder to listen to them, and take in the wisdom and their advice, because that's what I need to do. So on this last reflection, I would really like you guys to pause the video and take some time to reflect and think about it, and maybe actually do it. But again, you can reflect in your head, piece of paper and pencil if you have it, or comment below. Alright, so after your last reflection, we're feeling good. I feel like we've, I've shared a lot, and thought a lot, and learned a little bit through this process about my listening and speaking, so, which is interesting. And now I wanted to thank you guys for listening to me talk a lot, and hopefully reflecting and thinking about the journal prompts, or the prompts that they have, and learning a little bit about yourself as well. And if you shared to anyone, or if you commented, thank you for that. We appreciate it, and always are looking forward to what you have to say. But now I would like us to do a little moving and kind of take away from all the thinking and get our bodies, I guess, to feel where our brains are, just kind of good and relaxed, and really alleviate all the stress. So I have a few chair yoga poses I would like us to go through. I will explain them and demonstrate them all to you guys to the best of my ability. Not a professional yoga person, but still think it's a great exercise for us to be doing, and a great way for you guys to kind of get your body where your brain's at. Alright, so for this first one, it's called the chair hand raised pose. So I want you guys to take your hands, you're going to reach it up, and just reach your hands up as far as they go, and just hold it there for a few seconds. I will turn to the side so you guys can see from all the angles. There you go. Or hold it for 10 seconds. When you guys are doing yoga, it is important to breathe. You can count in your head, or you can count. I will start counting out loud, I guess. But just remember to breathe and kind of listen to your body. I'm bringing it back. Just so that way you guys can really get the most out of these stretches. And I don't want you guys to overwork yourself. I want it to feel good. And so after the chair hand raised pose, we're going to move into cat cow. So your hands are going to be on your knees. You guys are going to kind of lean forward and arch your back. And then you're going to, I guess, yeah. And then you're going to bring it back, and you're going to breathe. And then you're going to go back. And you're going to do this a few times. So we're going to do this 5 more times. And I'm going to do it to the side. Ready? And we're going to go into cat pose. And move into cow pose. 1. And then we're going to move back into cat pose. And move into cow. 2. Move to the other side. Cat pose, arch that back. Chin in. And bring it back to cow pose. We're going to do 2 more times. Cat pose. And cow pose. Alright, 1 more time, guys. I'm going to do it for you. Bring it down. So you're in cat pose. And stretch it back up. Ah, that's good. Okay, so our next pose is going to be a chair forward bend. So what I want you guys to do is kind of fold at the waist as much as you can. If you can touch your toes or to the floor. If not, just bend as far forward as you can. So if you can bend this far forward, this far, or all the way down, it's really whatever you're comfortable with. And we're going to hold it for 10 seconds. So I am going to turn my chair to the side and do it so that way you guys can see me. I will count to 10 and then we will move on to our next pose. So here, we're going to down and I'm touching my toes and we're going to count to 10. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Alright, that felt good. Thanks, guys. Okay, so after the forward bend comes the pigeon pose. So what you're going to do, let's move it down so you can see my legs, is you guys are going to kind of just bring your ankle up to your knee. And you can lean forward if you want. If your knee doesn't bend all this way up, you guys can just kind of cross at the little ankles like this and lean forward. Okay, give you a pretty good stretch as well. So we're going to start. We're going to do, I'm doing my right leg first, and we're going to lean forward and we're going to count to 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to switch out to my other leg. So again, we have the left leg on top of the right knee. It's bent. We're going to lean forward for a 10 count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Definitely think that's been my favorite pose. Alright, our next pose is called the chair eagle. So this one's going to be interesting. So what you do is you kind of cross your arms. So you kind of get a pose like this, but at the same time you're crossing your legs. So I'm crossing my legs and I can't cross them too much, but they're just like a normal cross at the ankles. And then across here. So we're going to hold this pose for 10 seconds. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Very nice, guys. Good job. Alright, we have 3 poses left. The next one is called a seated twist. So you're just regularly seating in your chair, and then you're going to turn your body to as far to the side as you can. So I just can turn here. You can use a chair as kind of a help to twist your body like this. We're going to do both sides for 10 seconds. If the stretch becomes uncomfortable or anything like that, I would like you guys to stop it. You can always jump back in and do it with us, but for poses. Sometimes again, I just want you to be comfortable and you guys to stretch your body but not push it too hard. Alright, ready? So I'm turning my body and we're going to count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, yes. Other side. So again, I am using the chair, the top of it, and the bottom, twisting my body. Well, we're going to count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nice, guys. Good job. 2 left. We got the seated crescent moon. So our hands are up, but they're going to be together. Let's see, I'm going to move it up so you guys can see a little bit. And then you're going to reach to the side. And we're going to do both sides. We're going to do 10 seconds. Again, if this pose becomes uncomfortable, please stop it and you can rejoin us, or just rest your body. Alright, so hands up, lean to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Next side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Back up and down. Last stretch, and then you guys have done it. Okay, we are going to do a neck stretch. So I just want you guys to do some light, casual neck rolls. You could just even do this side to side. Just loosen up your neck. I really like a nice neck roll like this. Forward. And then the other way, maybe. So it does not feel natural, but that's okay. Yeah, we're gonna do that just like for a few times around. Just do a neck roll. So 1 and 2 and 3, and go at your own pace. I don't want you going fast. I don't want you hurting yourself. It just kind of feels good. Alright, so if you've done your neck rolls, congratulations. You guys have made it through this week's Power Within Me. If not, finish them up and then congratulations. You've made it through this week's Power Within Me. I would like to say thank you so much for listening in and joining us and reflecting. And I know it's not always easy to reflect, but I appreciate it, and I appreciate anyone who shared, and even those of you who didn't share. I just hope you enjoyed the activity and enjoyed your morning. If you have any questions or comments or any suggestions for next week, you can still comment those and let us know, because we want to make sure that we are providing you guys with the best possible activities. And we want you guys to really enjoy what you're doing. So, yeah, so next week for Power Within Me, it'll be great as well. So, adios, have a great day, and enjoy your weekend.